All right. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Kerri Roberson from Houston, Texas, and I am absolutely delighted to be here with you tonight to share with you more about LifeWave and X39. There is no doubt someone has invited you on here that's excited for you to learn as well what we have our hands on. So we're going to jump right in and get started. And, I always tell people I'm going to give you that big overview tonight, and there's somebody waiting to help you get started, maybe answer a few more questions. But, I think by the end of the night, you'll see that we have something extremely special here, and it is definitely for you as well. So I'm going to share my screen and we will get started. All right, I love to just open with a disclaimer. We are not treating or curing any diseases here. We're not medical doctors. What we're going to share with you tonight is general wellness. And so, if you've got anything you're dealing with, please reach out to your physician, work hand in hand with them. And my biggest question, though, is have you been patched? I love when I think about this, this is very special because when you start to understand the potential here that this little patch, it looks just like this. We peel it and stick it. I wear mine right here because I feel like the world needs to see it. And so I always say it's the best version of grown-up show and tell that you could play because the world needs what we have. I'm a firm believer in that. So X39 is what we're going to talk about. And what it does is elevate, activate, and regenerate the human body. So you'll understand what that means as we go. I like to also start with just explaining to you that we think this is the greatest thing that's ever entered our life. That is my personal belief. I believe it's the most advanced regenerative technology of our lifetime. And, if you were listening to that video, you heard medical professionals say that as well, because this really is a game changer. But here's the fun thing is when companies, outside sources validate what we believe. And so we have just earned the Biotech Breakthrough Award as the Stem Cell Product of the Year, Stem Cell Innovation of the Year for 2025. And as you can see there in that writing, thousands of nominations coming from over 15 different countries were up for this award. And well, you're looking at the winner, Stem Cell Innovation of the Year. So what we share with you is we believe to be tried and true for very different reasons, but this is an outside source validating that as well. So pretty exciting. So let's talk about David Schmidt. I like to start with the beginning and why we're here to begin with, and that is he is the visionary. There's no doubt. He is the CEO. He's the founder of our company, LifeWave, and he is the inventor of our technology, which is very rare to see one and the same, right? Doing all of those things. But, David actually started way before he started LifeWave with phototherapy. And I love just his history, his background of the work that he did that led him to start LifeWave because he actually he was contracted by our US government to work with our Navy SEAL Survival Division, and his first patch technology was created for the SEALs. So today, currently, he now holds over 200 patents and counting. And I'm not sure about you, but most people don't have more than one. And so that's a pretty big deal because innovation truly is his heart. How to help humanity is what keeps him going every single day, and we are the beneficiaries of that. So he's absolutely brilliant. And it didn't take long. He started LifeWave in 2004, but by 2008, he said he understood the future of medicine was in stem cells, and he began to focus his attention on stem cell research. And he spent 10 years and $4.5 million to bring this one patch to market, which I think is incredible because the man's tenacity and perseverance is unlike anything I've ever seen. Most people quit after about 10 minutes. So to think 10 years, but I'm so grateful that he didn't stop because this patch came into the market 2018 and by July of 2020 had received a 20-year patent. So once again, you don't get patents if it's not proven, if it's not tried and true. And I just always love to point out this is a very lengthy document that you'll have access to. You can read it, but I love this paragraph out of it I'm going to read it to you because I think it's the most profound thing ever. It says, according to at least one embodiment of this invention that may be worn anywhere on the human body. Now, I like to stress the word anywhere because the truth is that some people say, well, where can I wear it? And I'm like, anywhere. And then they still want to know where. Okay, when you get your package, it shows on the back of the neck or it shows below the belly button. That's because when doing clinical studies, when filing for patents, things must be uniformed. But remember this, it can be worn anywhere on the human body. You emit the same light, which we'll talk more about, everywhere. So It's amazing. All right, and it says that it causes a beneficial effect by providing phototherapy to the human body. As a result of elevating copper peptide, including activation of stem cells, you'll see improvements in energy, elevation of antioxidants, reduction in inflammation, management of pain, improvements in stamina, elevation of collagen production, and improved wound healing. That pretty much sums up the human body. So I love the fact that that's in the patent and that's exactly what it says that this technology does. Now, how it works, it's a form of phototherapy. I'll give you the best analogy I can. The sun is a form of phototherapy. When we've heard our whole life, go out into the sun and get your vitamin D. Well, bad news. There's no vitamin D in the sun. However, there is vitamin D inside the human body. And when we go out into the sun and the sun penetrates our skin, our body goes through a process with cholesterol and vitamin D production is elevated. So the vitamin D is already inside of you. It just needs the sun to work. And so I want to encourage you, get in the sun because I think people hide from it. And as a result, well, we can look up the facts. We have a nation that's vitamin D deficient. So vitamin D is very important for us, and that's where the sun comes in. Well, this works the same way. When we put this on our body anywhere, our body emits light and heat 24 hours a day. So whenever that light comes out of my body and literally reflects itself right off of this patch back into my system, it tells the body to elevate GHK-Cu copper peptide, and that naturally activates dormant stem cells, just like you saw on that screen before in the patent. So it's a form of nanocrystal technology. Absolutely nothing is entering your bloodstream. It's non-transdermal, so there's no drugs inside of this. There's no chemicals, there's no stimulants, nothing going in, which is a great thing because we have no side effects and no negative interactions with it. And the best part, well, it's non-invasive, so there's no needles to put in your body. So I love this. It's amazing what it does, and how it works is quite fascinating. So what we see with this, the benefits are so incredible. These are just a few that are highlighted, but I'm telling you, it's everything. In fact, I finally just got to the point where I tell people the answer is always yes, yes, and yes. I've seen it work every time on everyone for everything in time. We want you to wear this, and we'd say a month for every decade of life. But when I tell you my story in a minute, you're going to want to know why you're going to want to continue to wear it. So the benefits are amazing. It might be that you just want to achieve optimal health and wellness. Here's what I love to say. This was created, the first patch technology was created for Navy SEALs. So remember, it was for the elite bodies. It then went from there to the U.S. Olympic swim team. So when you think about that, like we've got the elite athletes of the world wearing this for performance, recovery, all of those things, but yet it's made for everyone, for whatever you need it to be. So I love that, and all ages can utilize it. So we see these improvements in health, exercise performance, recovery, strength. We also see mental clarity, healthy energy flow, right? People are not looking for their pick me up in the afternoon. They just have that natural sustained energy. And once again, with no drugs and no stimulants, you're not having to reach for all the things that can give you the pick me up. So it's pretty incredible. And it's all about optimal health. And so I love the fact that you're going to achieve that with this. Now, why we tell people give it time is, I always explain your body is like an iceberg, and you only see the very tip of the ice. You don't see the 90% below the surface, which is massive. I've been to Antarctica. The icebergs are incredible, right? So we don't see that. Well, it's much like the human body. We don't see what's going on internally. We just really see what annoys us on the outside a lot of times. And so just know those long-term results are going to start showing up when you give it time. And David always says, give it a month for every decade of life and beyond, right? We'll talk more, but just to give it that time. So I tell people, I don't know if you'll notice your results on day 1, day 3, day 7, day 90, or the end of the year, but I do know this. Things are happening. See, it's clinically proven that 4,000 genes begin to reset within the first 48 hours, right, to a more younger, youthful, healthier state. Now, here's what I do know about your stem cells. When they wake up, and that's what they're doing, and they go back to work, they know exactly where to go, and they know exactly what to do. We don't tell them, we don't direct them, they just do it. That's what they were put inside the body for, was to take over, to do those things. So it's pretty amazing. And I always say too, you might not feel them wake up. Chances are you didn't feel them going to sleep. And what a lot of people don't realize is that as we age, they go dormant. By age 30, about 50% of them are dormant. And by age 60, there's about less than 10% of them still there. That shows you the signs and the symptoms of aging. So we see that in time, the brain becomes balanced. And this is amazing for all things. We see a lot of people that struggle with anxiety, stress, depression, all those things, as well as beyond that when it comes to the brain. And so it's pretty amazing as you start to see the brain become balanced, that inflammation's leaving, collagen's increasing in your body. Now, this is another incredible thing that a lot of people don't realize the importance of collagen. So I'm going to give you a couple of fun facts that maybe you learned in health class about collagen and you forgot it. But here's what I know is that collagen to your body is as if your body was a brick and mortar building and the collagen was the mortar. It's what holds your body together. If there's more collagen in your bones than there is calcium, that's a fun fact, right? Because here's what we get marketed to, at least in America. I know there's other countries that join in, but here it's a vanity thing. It's all about your fine lines and your wrinkles and your hair and your nails, and it's a big market for sure. But this is so much more than that. It's for that, the people who are struggling with the joints and all that, but it's also huge for gut health. And yes, along the way, the fine lines and the wrinkles just start to disappear as well. So it's a beautiful thing. And the hair, I can tell you my hair has never been this long or thick in my adult life. My nails grow out just crazy, so I see all the benefits of collagen. Except I've just had my fourth grandchild, and I don't wake up in the morning feeling like I'm the Tin Man and I need to just keep moving for the first half hour to not feel all those effects because my collagen's increased. And then as you go on, we see the heart reverse in age. And this is truly life changing because I can tell you right now, you know how important that is if you've ever dealt with anything scary with your heart. And so you don't necessarily feel that or see it though. So I just want you to be encouraged that just know it's worth it. And as David says, this is not anti-aging. This is truly age reversing. So I figured it out that as I get older, well, I know what I want to be when I grow up younger, right? I think that's the answer for all of us. And this is truly, it's helping me feel like I've turned back the hands of time on the clock. So it's pretty incredible. So like I mentioned, how we wear it, 12 hours on, 12 hours off. Wake up in the morning and brush your teeth. And when you do that, peel and stick. That's how hard this is. Before you go to bed, brush your teeth and take it off and throw it in the trash can. You get a new one tomorrow. A sleeve looks like this and it has 30 patches inside of it. So a new one each day. And it truly is going to help your body go into that rest, repair, and rejuvenation. So, which is where we also understand that the body recovers, right? Is in your sleep. That's another great benefit we have is the improvement of sleep. So many people, that's the first thing they notice. So it's all the little things that start to add up, and that's what really makes this special. Now, testimonies of this are incredible. They are emotional and they are life-changing, including ours. So I would love just to share with you, we got started on this technology December the 7th of 2022, and it was a game changer. On November the 30th, I got a phone call from my best friend, and I heard the words, "I just found something for your foot and for your mom." I had battled a whole year with extreme foot discomfort, and it was just wreaking havoc on my whole body, if I could be quite honest. I wore two pair of orthotic shoes by day, and I slept in a boot at night. It's uncomfortable, number one. My husband didn't think it was sexy, number two. Like there was a lot of things, but I never got good sleep. And usually by about 5 a.m., I was crawling into the bathtub to try to get some relief through the hips, the low back, for all the overcompensating I was doing, never bearing weight on my foot. And so I knew that I was like, yes, anything. I'd already spent $3,000 that year working with my doctor trying to fix my foot, and I was actually worse off than when it started. And so I was definitely all ears. However, the phone call when it came in was just 30 minutes after my mom had just told me she was ready to move and her address would be heaven. And I was not prepared for that. I'm still not prepared to even share that 3 years later because she had taken a really bad fall back in 2017 at the age of 75, and she shattered from head to toe. And because of her lack of mobility after that, then now she had just inherited a ton of health ailments. And, she was living on about 13 daily medications and about that many pain medications. And I was taking her in every 3 months. We were getting injections in both knees, her shoulder, her neck, and her back. And all I kept hearing was she needs this replaced. She needs that replaced. She needs a watchman in her heart. She needs all this stuff. And she just told me then, she said, "I don't want to be a burden to my children. And I feel like my work on earth is done. And nobody needs me." And I said, "Well, that's not true. I need you." And, I just share with her, I needed her, my kids, my grandkids, and most importantly, the world. And so, and I have to always add, it was so out of her character. If you've had the chance to ever hear my mom or know my mom, you would know she is the giver of life. So it wasn't despair. It was just truly like, I don't want to go on like this. And she was defined to a walker and a scooter, so she didn't have any mobility. Well, when that phone call came in and I heard your foot and your mom, I said, how fast will it get here? I didn't need to see anything. I trusted my best friend with my life, and I knew that I needed something quick. And I believed this was the answer to that prayer that I prayed. So we started patching. On day 3, I woke up and all the discomfort was gone, but I had slept through the night. Miracle number 1, a good night's sleep. I saw the sun for the first time in a long time. Then it was, wow, what's happening here? And I just simply prayed a prayer, Lord, let this last. So I'm telling you, here I am 3 years later, and it has lasted. And then as time went on, things kept getting better and better. The inflammation started leaving my body. I went from a size 10, 12 down to a 4. My gray hair started disappearing. And at the 1 year mark, I quit wearing glasses. I still had 20/20 vision up close, but I needed glasses for distance, for driving a car, for night vision, all those things gone. I've not wore glasses since. So I am telling you, I feel like every day it just gets better. But it was day 7 for my mom. And that was the day that I saw truly in my life the first miracle through this. And she immediately walked in unannounced, number 1, not with a walker and not with help, which was all miracles. And she said, I'm getting the biggest package. And I have to tell you, we were kind of shocked because the week before she didn't really think that this would work, and she didn't have hope and she didn't have belief. But I had enough for both of us. And so she started patching. And as a result, well, in 9.5 months, working with her physician, that's important for you to know. It was when she went to see her cardiologist at the 4-month mark that he said, what are you doing? I've never seen improvements like this before, especially not on an 81-year-old. And it said to her, I think I'll get the biggest package too. The next month, it was her eye doctor. He said, I don't know why you're here, what you want, because you've got 20/20 in one eye and 20/25 in the other. You don't need glasses any longer. But this doesn't happen at 81 years old. And it just kept going on and on. And so working with her doctor at the 9.5 month mark, she had eliminated every one of those medications. And I'm so grateful for a physician, first of all, that would work alongside of her. But he saw something, and she would tell you to this day, 1, I never felt my heart improving. 2, I never felt my vision improving. So, it's the things we don't see. She had a lot of iceberg going on, that's all I can tell you. But it has truly been a game changer. So she just turned 84, and I said, Mom, what do you want to do for your 84th birthday? And she said, let's take on New York. So that's what we did for 4 days, and it was incredible just to see she's thriving in life, thriving. And I know many of you have probably heard her story if you've been around at all, because I believe she could be the poster child for this company. And she loves sharing this technology every single day with people that she loves, people that she meets along the way. So for us, it has been incredible because I truly believe without this technology, I wouldn't have celebrated probably her 82nd birthday, let alone her 84th. So I'm so grateful that my friend cared enough about me the minute she was learning about this to call me. Not once she had tried it. And I say that because it took my friend 90 days to get her wow factor. 90 days, where it took me 3, and my mom discovered her first one on 7. So I share that because as you think about people you love, I always say what's happening inside their body really doesn't have anything to do with what happened inside of mine. Because I know that, well, it just simply tells the body, get up and go to work. So it's pretty amazing. So let's talk about a few other things. Thisisitinfo.com is where you can find all the details. Everything I've shared with you tonight is going to be on there when it comes from the patents, the studies, the information. There's videos. There's so much so much information about this technology on this site. And I'll be honest with you, if I'm sharing this with people, whether it's my girlfriend that lives next door that maybe is a stay-at-home mom, all the way to my mom's cardiologist, this is the one thing I send. I don't send a whole bunch of confusing things. I send this and tell them, I want you to watch the first 3 videos and then let's talk. It's pretty powerful, but there's a wealth of information on this site. It is incredible, and it's really what you could utilize and have all the answers to any questions. So thisisitinfo.com, you'll want to write that down or take a picture and be able to use that and share it. All right, so I always love to share the whole picture of LifeWave because opportunity happens when you are able to create solutions. This right here, honestly, is the solution to most people's problems. I believe that because, once again, like I said, we're not treating or curing anyone of any disease, but when the body is no longer performing the way the body should, well, then you've got a problem. But whenever you have something as simple as this, that I call this my human light switch. Every morning I just turn the lights on and my body does all the work. And so it's pretty incredible because people are struggling and they are spending a wealth of money looking for solutions. And that's what we offer here. And because this is network marketing, because you can share this with other people and they are able to get those same benefits and share it with others, there is an incredible opportunity here to be able to earn additional income. And here's one thing I do know is that most people's health problems are either caused by a lack of income, or a lack of income will soon cause most people's health problems, right? That stress that comes along with it. So the two really do go hand in hand. And so we do definitely want to share with you the fact that we have an opportunity that supports this. And, I tell people, some people just want to make enough to share this with others and it pays for theirs, while others would like to do whatever they want to do in life. So the answer is this: it's all there if you choose to do it. You're the variable, and so it's up to you. But I like to show you a little bit about this company and where we're at, because it's incredible whenever you can see what you have the ability to step into. So, LifeWave just a few short years ago was a $20 million company, and that was around the 16-year mark. And so now you look at X39 enters the scene, and what this one incredible patch has been able to take this company to over $600 million in just a few short years. That's an over 3,000% growth. So it's pretty amazing. We're now in our 21st year and we're operating in more than 75 countries. So I love the fact that I'm in Houston. Every day I interact with people from other countries. My neighborhood's full of people from other countries. And so I might be able to talk to my neighbor and they might be able to change a life on the other side of the globe. And that's pretty impactful. So it's really incredible when you see, once again, we know who we are because we know the numbers, we've seen the growth, but when others outside can validate what you're doing. So we are now ranked number one in momentum, and this is around the globe. And this is incredible to see. We've also just received the Bravo Growth Award for being number one in our industry now for 2 consecutive years with our growth. So amazing things are happening. And once again, these are from outside sources, not us. So pretty impactful. So that leads me to ask you, what's the most important thing in your life? Because for some people, you might just be on here to learn about the health benefits. And I would just tell you that's the most important thing, because I'm a firm believer without your health, everything else starts to fall apart. I know I once was there. I was a salon owner, I was a nail technician, and I hurt my back and had to have a major back surgery. And life as I knew it changed, not just physically, but financially. It left us in a world of hurt when it came to everyday finances, but also debt. And so it just kind of became that domino effect. So I know what that looks like. But so I tell people, if all you're here is for your health, we're going to support you, we're going to help you, and you're going to be well cared for. And we respect that. But if you see more, if you say, you know what, I want more time with my family. I do want to be able to pay off some debt. I want to be able to have security, retirement, pay for my kids' college, my daughter's wedding, soccer, all the sports. My goodness, they're expensive and they go year round now, right? It's different than when we were kids. And so, or, whatever it is, if that's you, you're in the right place too. And if you like to travel, I'm just telling you, stick around us, because this company, that's one of the great ways we're rewarded with free all expense paid travel. And that's very incredible. Just because you're sharing something that I believe could be absolutely life-changing for the people you love. And then, of course, you get greatly rewarded. So we love to tell you, if you look at any of these things and you see something, then stay tuned, because you're going to learn about this. And I'm going to tell you how to get started if you're just here for the patches or if you're here for the opportunity as well. So when looking at a business structure, being a conventional business owner formerly, I know what's involved: the startup costs, the risks, the long hours. No one takes care of your company or your business like you do. That's a guarantee, right? And there's a lot of overhead, and it usually takes a while to turn a profit, because most people take loans to start conventional business. As to where when you look at a business here, low startup costs, 30-day risk-free trial. You don't have anything to lose. I can promise you that. And you can make your own schedule. We have a system though. And I will tell you, when I sit down to look at this after the amazing health benefits we received, I literally told my husband, I have to take a look at this. I saw three things that day that set this apart. Now, I've been in this industry since the day I turned 18. Along the way, I was a conventional business owner. Then I became a realtor. Those things cost money and take up a lot of time and ongoing money, by the way. Like it doesn't just one time and you're good. I mean, I pay every month real estate fees, all the things to my brokerage, whether I make a dime or not. So that's that kind of conventional business fits there. LifeWave, of course, is going to give you the system in place and the ability to earn 60 cents on the dollar through our compensation plan. So when I saw that we have a patented technology, one of a kind, that no one knows about, if I'm being honest, and everyone needs, in my opinion, and we have 60 cents on the dollar paid back in our compensation plan and a system that is in place, you just have to step into it. That was what I saw as I'm about to show you this. Because when I looked through the compensation plan, I saw there's now 9 ways to earn and plus those trips. So that's pretty incredible. Most people go and they trade hours for dollars. So if you're not at work, you don't get paid the dollars, right? But you're trading that time for your money. And so when I looked at this, I immediately looked at this one image and told my husband, this is it. This is it. Like I knew it. And I love the name of our team, This Is It, because those were the words that came out of my mouth when I saw that just this one way of helping other people, you could earn up to $25,000 a week. Now, once again, we cannot make you any guarantee of any income. This is just like a commissionable sale. No one in real estate can make me a guarantee of income. I can work my tail feathers off for a client and get to the very end, last day, and if the deal falls through for any reason, I just worked for free, if I'm being honest, right? Like there's no guarantee of income in sales of most kinds, right? You have to do something to get something. Here, though, as you're getting people started with this amazing technology, you can take advantage of multiple ways that you earn income. But once again, you do have to talk and share this with people. So when we saw this, I was like, wow, we had already started 6 people, families that we loved and cared about. So when I saw this, I went, Rick, doesn't everybody love 4 people? And even more than that, but I knew of 4 people instantly that I wanted to share this with before I ever even got it. Just like my friend, before she got it, she shared it with me. So whenever you see this business launch bonus, this is another great way when you're getting started right out of the gate and you get going. You could get as little as 2 friends started with an advanced package I'm going to show you along with you and be what's called 1-star manager and automatically earn an extra $25 a week in bonus money. Then move to another couple of friends, right? Everybody loves 4 at least. And now you're called 2-star manager and you're now able to get a $50 bonus a week. And this is for 9 weeks. And so I love the fact that we can put just another stream of income in people's pockets for up to 9 weeks. And then, of course, it just continues to grow from there. And so once you get into, farther along, I always say there's the beginning where we're sharing the technology, and there's 4 ways we're going to earn there. And then we start to grow. We start to help other people share it. And as a result of that, we start to tap into other incomes. And this mentor matching bonus is simply this. The more people you help in life, yours just becomes an automatic. I learned that a long time ago, and that's not just things around financial status. I'm here to tell you, the more you help people and serve people, the more you win. And so this mentor matching, though, can pay up to $20,000 per person at every level, all the way through 6 generations when you get there. And so it's pretty amazing as well. And so I love that there's just multiple ways that you just keep earning by helping others win and grow in their business. So this is a system that allows you to duplicate your efforts. And so it's you in the beginning. You make a decision that you want to share it with people you know and love. And I always say the people you meet along the way and begin to know and love. But it's really amazing how fast this can duplicate for you. And now it is literally as everywhere all day. I mean, it's just amazing. You're not the only one sharing it. You've got a team of people. And so we do love to help grow teams of teams. All right, so as far as getting started, there's an order form. Somebody will share this with you if they haven't already, and they'll help guide you through the process of getting it filled out and getting started. But I want to talk to you about how to become a brand partner. And once again, if you're somebody that's just saying, well, I just want to try the product, You can ask them about preferred customer. Brand partner is where a lot of people are like, I'm already thinking of people I love. And this was us when we got started. I immediately was like, I know people. And like I said, before our patches ever came in, we shared it. So you've got core, advanced, advanced plus, and premium. You get to choose where you start. Now, I will tell you that core is going to give you 3 sleeves of X39, right? So advanced is going to give you 6, advanced plus 11, and premium 20. Here's the thing, your price point gets better. So when we got started, when I saw the premium package, I was like, hello, upgrade me to that because I wanted the price. I was starting 4 people, myself, my husband, my mom, and my daughter on patches. And I wanted to get the best price discount and I wanted extra sleeves on hand to be able to share them with my friends and family as they were starting. And then as their order came in, they just replaced mine. So I was just like, here you go. Don't wait. Get started today, and then you can just loan. I'm going to loan you mine. You can give them back. And so I'm a firm believer that, what you have, you can share and you can get other people started. And then I saw the X39, the subscription, the monthly subscription. Now I'm going to encourage you to make sure you set yours in place. Number one, I don't ever, ever, ever want to be a day without this in my life. I can tell you that. And I haven't been. So I'm not the girl you can say, well, what happens if you stop wearing it? I can tell you I've had a few, and within 90 days, they call me back and go, don't ever let me do that again. So it's pretty amazing. But when you look at this from a business perspective, we show the 2 sleeve um, subscription there. And the importance of that is that it's going to save your binary volume and it fully opens up all the ways we earn income. And so what that looks like for us is just a sleeve for me and a sleeve for my husband. That is our only overhead in this business. And I have just told you as a realtor, I have a lot more overhead than X39, I can assure you. So it's pretty amazing whenever you can see this really is something that anyone can launch. Anyone can get started with the business levels. So the best part I can tell you is that you are not alone and we have a system. I mentioned to you, this is at info.com is what we share with every person as we're getting them started, to let them see what they need to see. This is at team.com is our business site, and that has all of the answers on it. It tells you how to share it. It tells you what to say. And, here's what I've understood is that if you can follow a system, now, we've been taught our whole life how to follow directions. I mean, I'm just being honest, right? We have literally been taught since we were pre-K kids how to follow directions. And yet sometimes people get here and they can't follow directions. And I'm like, if you just follow directions, look, we tell you exactly how to share this and how to utilize the system to help you share it and help other people get started. And so it really is that simple. And I had to say this, I'm going to step out of the way. I've been in this industry since the day I turned 18. I've been incredibly successful. I'm going to not bring anything here that doesn't serve people well here. So I can bring all of my leadership skills, I can bring all that, but I'm going to learn this system and I'm going to be able to share it with others. And that's the beauty of it. It's there for you. You just have to use it. So we don't hide anything. You're not getting charged monthly or anything for all of this. It is there for you because we do truly want to see you win in life. To be able to do all those things we talked about, whether it's to pay off your debt, to be able to travel, to be able just to be secure, and maybe to be significant. That's the one thing that I love is that when we were able to pay off our debt, when we were able to not be in bondage to those things, time constraints, financial constraints, we were able to do more for others, not just take care of our 4 walls. So that might be why some of you are here, is to be able to say, I want to do something significant. So if that's you, I invite you to make your move. The time is now. And, just get back with the person who invited you and let them know I'm serious about wanting to get started. Like I said, honestly, whether it's the technology or it's both, the technology and being able to share this with others, they don't know the dreams in your heart, but you do. And that's different for all of us. I love this industry. I love this company. It is beyond my wildest dreams what we've been able to experience here in the last 3 years, both from the technology as well as the benefits of the financial part. But here's the reality. I've always wanted to be able to do greater things than just live a life every single day. I wanted to be significant. I wanted to make a difference. And for many of you, you might be looking for that. Like, how do I do something that allows me the time freedom, the financial freedom, to be able to serve others and to be able to travel and do whatever it needs to be done? because that dream in your heart, here's what I know about it. It usually takes time and resources. And resources, well, the world we live in, our economy runs on money. So I'm never afraid to talk to people about how much extra money would you need to make that happen, because we can do this. And I always stress too, just like we don't make claims on medical claims and we don't make financial guarantees of anything. Well, the reality is that we can show you what we're doing and we can help you. But that dream in your heart is significant to you. We would never tell you, go quit your day job and do this. Like, that's just something we don't do. Put this in, share it as you go, and it just allows you freedom of choices along the way. So I love that. So they're waiting for you to get back with them. I'm going to go through a few more slides that really give you some of the great resources that we offer through this Is It team. And that way you'll kind of know what's going on and what this looks like, and some places to just dive in. That'd be the first thing I'd tell you. So I'm going to invite you to get back with the person, be honest with them, let them help you get started. And I can't wait to hear what happens in your life. So I already said this more than once. We don't make any claims, guarantees of income. You can always take a look at our earnings disclosure. It's out there, and what all that looks